I'm Mo.
And this is How Was School Podcast. Why do I always start off sitting on my leg and then I'm like, I don't want to sit on my leg, and then I take move my leg. What?
Restless leg syndrome.
That is not the same thing. So, yeah. So, how was school? Hey Mo, how was school?
This week,
Yes.
Tuesday, or Wednesday, can't remember exactly. Got in a fight with a boy.
The boy, she duked it out with a boy.
Wanted
She
to.
got suspended.
I didn't.
She didn't.
He was in class. We had a substitute that day. In class, he was like, when the substitute was taking roll, he said like my friend's actual name, since she's Chinese, and he just kept like saying, "Oh, that's your real name?" Like, making racist remarks.
The boy or the substitute?
The boy.
Oh.
The substitute.
So to say substitute, you are
He works at Unified.
dismissed.
He's a basketball. And I just kept staring at him in disgust. Just no. What goes through your mind to just say that out loud? You're so cool. I'm racist. Anyways.
If only they did identify themselves that way. Hello. Don't.
Hello, I'm a registered racist.
I'm racist. I'm registered. I love that. Okay, sorry. Keep going.
I have to tell that every time they move.
Okay, sorry. I'm just thinking about that. Every time you move to a new city, you gotta go door to door. Hello, I just moved to your neighborhood and I'm racist.
I'm a registered racist. Just
I'm required by law to tell everyone. It should be a watchdog.com for that. It's like sex offenders, convicted felons, like murderers, and racists.
We don't like that. It's racist. I don't watch that. And then fast forward to the class, and
Gross. Keep it going.
everybody before the bell rang, everybody finished and whatnot. Everybody was packing up and stood up to go by the door. So when the bell rang, they just leave. And I pushed by him to get to the back door, since less of a walk outside. And he turned around and kicked me. So I turned around. And it was a little ankle kick.
Yeah, he
It wasn't that.
He didn't go
It didn't hurt
crazy
whatsoever. He was just
Okay.
boop.
I'm saying, I had me up there. Find somebody sell me a gun. No,
Stop. Just no.
I'm
Don't turn it. No. Just stop.
I'll fight a kid.
You
Sorry.
don't
Oh.
shoot the kid. Don't shoot the kid. You're like, oh man.
Right, you let me weigh down.
And then, outside. What's the bell ring? Don't do that. What's the bell?
What's the bell ring?
Once the bell rang, and we were outside. I was walking with my friend because she has the same second period with me. That was my first period. And
Stop.
I'm so
Gross.
I just
True, but gross.
and we were walking to the class, and then he was right behind me because he was walking with his friends in the same area, and so he threw gun paper at me as I was walking, but it missed, so I didn't care.
Wait, what did you do after he kicked you though?
Oh yeah.
Lord Jesus.
I pushed him into the desk, and then I jumped at him, and he got scared, and all of us were
He
like,
got scared?
ooh, and they laughed. I was like, yeah.
Oh, tough guy.
It made me real mad.
Tough guy. You invited him to the gun show, eh?
Pew pew.
No, I meant your guns.
Pew pew.
Oh my God.
Okay, and then gun paper thing, ooh, missed, I don't care. And then once we were waiting outside the door of my class because the teacher didn't open the door yet. And then he was way over there. And so I was like, why is he all the way over there if he has something to say? He's like looking at me and like talking to me and cracking jokes. Ha ha ha. And his friends were laughing. I'm like, oh, so he's talking to me, obviously. I mean, why wouldn't he? And then I'm like, if you have something to say, come over here. And so he started walking over. I'm like, oh, he has something to say. And he stood 10 feet from me and spit. But the spit didn't hit me. It hit like 5 feet. So I was like, oh.
He was trying to have a spit off. Like you were supposed to spit. And
It would have hit him.
He was going to spit.
It would.
You spit like that?
I could have put a little extra effort into it for it to hit.
Every time I try to spit, it just falls on me.
You're like,
right? I could not spit.
Oh no.
I like had a serious conversation with Daddy. Like, teach me how to spit.
What a redneck. I want to spit in a vase.
Oh, I just want to be gross sometimes. Teach me how to spit. Right. Do I need tobacco? Like, teach me how to spit.
That just changes the taste.
Huh?
That just changes
I still wouldn't be able to spit. I thought that would, like, extra saliva. I didn't give it a lot.
No, that just means more.
I didn't give it a lot. Finish what you were saying.
And it was, like, real nasty, too. It was, like, red for some reason. I think he ate, like, some spicy chips. I don't know.
It's not important. That's gross.
But it was, yeah.
It's gross regardless. Spitting at somebody. But anyway, what happened after he spit at you?
He just walked away. He walked back.
Sir.
He's like, smile, walk away. Act like he did something. You just put a spot for people to avoid. Like,
gross. Gross. Okay. So, yeah. Great job, like, standing up for yourself. I am thinking that maybe your push past him was a little less respectful than it could have been.
I was just like, because they were like, his little group was like clogging the little
But did
aisle.
you say, excuse me? You were like
No, I don't like it.
You were like people in grocery stores.
Like,
They like contort themselves in weird situations so they don't have to say excuse me to pass by you. And it's like, just like
but then some people
alert me to your presence with the excuse me and I'll move.
Some people, they don't like care about that. They're just like,
I mean, if you say it and they don't move, that's their fault.
push
But
them out the way at that point.
Because I mean, I'm a whole person. You heard me. But like, if I don't have any knowledge of you being back there, and all I see is you like doing this, coming out the other side, like.
Did I grow arms? What's
Just
happening?
say excuse me, asshole. Okay. So okay. So what was up with this lightsaber fight?
Why did you know that?
You like brought it up briefly, but you didn't give me any details.
Oh yeah. We have like a crackhead colony at lunch. They act insane.
Really?
There's like a group, there's like a ringleader. He's like, don't even know how to describe him. He'll wear like some random pilot hat, then another day he'll bring like a cowboy hat, and then he'll have like this random color scarf, and then he always has a blue jacket with blue pants.
Oh, he's destined for stardom, is what he's telling you. He's
a new Elton John. But it's just crazy. They do like just do a bunch of crazy stuff. They brought lightsabers.
How many of them are there?
3.
It's 3.
Yeah, and then they like had to fight. People were like, they were like taking a while to like actually like fight and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And the people like up at the second floor were like, go, just fight. So they started like going. It was really aggressive. I was scared. Someone's eye's gonna get poked out. He was
all
like,
funny games till someone loses in
like,
that.
that's plastic. And then he broke it. He ended up breaking.
I mean, it was fun while it lasted.
They still went.
I want to be in a lightsaber fight.
Just be like, they go easy mode, because if they go hard,
You say easy mode?
Yeah, it's gonna. They're swinging like
really?
baseball swinging.
Oh wow.
Yes,
They were
he
not
was on
using the force.
difficult mode.
Difficult
mode.
So if people didn't know before, they definitely know you're a gamer now, because you take Easy mode, difficult mode. These are people, not a video game. It's not important. Okay. So today, wait. So like teachers didn't stop them, or nobody cared.
Like the what do you call it? Like the freshman assistant principal, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Like none of the juniors and stuff and sophomores don't like him because he represents the freshmen. Because that's how my school works. He was out there for just watching. Hey, stop that! And then they stopped, and they just stayed there so they wouldn't do it again. And they're like, hi. But yeah.
Oh, okay. Cause I'm a bit jealous
But
because
like, for 10 minutes it was like no teachers or
Really?
anything were there.
so I told you that I went to a predominantly white high school, and there was a nice amount of number of black students, but we were still like very outnumbered. And so I won't even say we because I don't jump rope, but some girls decided to jump double dutch at school. Perfectly innocent, whatever. They stopped us from doing it. Well, stopped them from doing it. And it's like, we had an open campus, like 6, if not more buildings. I can't remember. But it's all these buildings, so they're like, pick the spot that's not in the way of anybody. And this was before school started, 'cause everybody pile in early in the day to, socialize and blah, blah, blah. And they just wanted to jump double dutch. And I guess it caused too big of a crowd. It was too many of us crowding around to watch girls jump double dutch, and so they made them stop.
If you see like there's nothing wrong with it,
Absolutely
in the
nothing.
middle of the crowd, then what?
Absolutely nothing. It was like so innocent, so innocent. So I'm like, they had a whole lightsaber fight, and we couldn't even jump rope.
Oh yeah, and then one of them they bring like a baby Kermit, and they're like, it's very sad, but they tied a string around its neck.
Why are you whispering?
Because it's sad, and I don't know if it's.
But you're laughing. You're like,
because it's funny, and then it's like, why?
Baby Kermit, and tied a string around his neck to do what with it?
To just like they just like walk around with the string. And my friend, whenever she was like with our group, she moved because other friends, not mutual, other friends. And whenever she saw him before, she was like, oh my god, no. And she like loved Kermit so much. She's like, my boyfriend.
Hey, they say dating in LA is hard. Kermit's all she got. I don't know. Okay, anyway, today's topic is peer pressure.
Yes.
What we dealing with out here on these streets. And peers are defined like somebody who's in your age group, like have similar interests to you. So basically, people at school you hang out with, a youth group at church, sports ball team, just somebody that's in your level of life. That makes sense. Yeah. Okay, so.
You and your peers.
But yeah, peer pressure. Tell us about what's that like now? What you been pressured into?
So 7th grade, my friend had a vape pen.
A what?
A vape pen.
Vape pen. 7th grade?
Yes. She rough life.
Okay.
/ he. In 7th grade, it was in class.
Slash, or does this person identify as?
Is he? But like in the story, it was she. So
oh, gotcha.
I'm
gotcha. I'm following.
It was during history class, and like, but it's
In the class?
In the sleep, yeah. And I was like, I know what that is. Just gonna, didn't work. Why you sit there and do that? And then my friend,
Good job. Snitches get stitches.
And then my other friend, she comes over. It was a substitute that day. She comes over and it's like,
Subs, do better. Jesus. Like, be more than just an adult presence. Engage. God. Like, your last story was like, it was a sub.
Like he didn't see me push him at all. Anyways, she comes over and she's like, my one with the vape pen is like, just like, ooh, smoke. And then she's like, oh, can I try it? I'm like,
oh, the friend that came over?
yeah.
Okay.
And he's like, I'm scared. I don't. Should I do it? Should I ask me? I'm like, should I do it? I'm like, do you? And she did it. And then she's like, well, let me try again. I'm like, oh, she's addicted.
There one puff. We lost another.
Another one, boys. Okay. And I was just sitting there. But it wasn't like technically peer pressure. It was just like, should I do it? And try it? So I was just sitting there like, just watching it. Like,
Did you want to?
I don't know, honestly.
You were like a little curious, like,
Yeah.
what's all the hullabaloo?
Curious, but I knew it was like basically like smoking. So I'm like, I like my lungs to be pink. Like them to get the natural color.
Okay, yeah, the whole vape thing, I don't know. Everything about it makes me nervous.
It got so big
And
in 8th grade.
that's my phone buzzing. I don't know if the
Karen? Oh.
sound caught it. Oops. The whole, like I said, and you having asthma, and so I'm like always worried about your choices around something like that. Cause, I mean, at this age, once you walk out the door, I mean, I can do all the teaching and preaching and facilitating and all this stuff, all of it, and set good examples at home. But once you walk out outside, your decisions are all your own. And if it's something you want to do, you're going to do it. Hell, when I was your age, it was something I wanted to do, I was going to do it. So, yes, we've never ever talked about that. So I appreciate you sharing that story, and also appreciate you making the decision that you made. Good job, yo. But so like this, like what? How do kids even get their hands on something like this? Like, do you know the path that's taken to get it?
Their parents give them money. It's like $60.
But you don't need an ID to buy a vape pen, do you know? I don't know
I
either.
don't think so. Or they just have like older friends do it. Or just okay. From what I've heard from people who do Juul, they're like there's a puff bar thingy. It's like disposable, and those cost less, I guess. And so you just get a bunch of those, and you switch the little pods for the flavors. And people sell those.
What do you think the allure is behind it? Like, why do people want to do it? I guess
Probably
the same reason they wanted to do.
Or they tried it once and they liked it. They're like, oh, I wonder how this tastes like. I wonder how it feels.
Do they do their hands like that when they say these things?
They're like, huh, how it tastes, friend.
Hate it. Everything about it.
No, you gotta love it.
Okay, so what are some other pressureful things? Is that a word? It doesn't matter. It is now. Excuse me. What are some other like things going on that you feel pressured about, or not necessarily pressured, but it's a presence in?
Recently I've heard friends like, oh, something gram from this person. I'm like, isn't that a weed thing? And they just start talking about it. It's like, oh, I got buy this from this person. And I'm like, Jesus, you're 14. I mean, Is weed that bad?
Huh?
Is weed as bad as smoking, like cigarettes and stuff?
That's depends on you. In my opinion, no. But do your own research on it, and decide for yourself what you think. The smoking, but like I said, in my opinion, no. And it depends on what you mean by weed. Are you talking just CBD? Because that doesn't have the high effect that people chase. THC has that. And so CBD is in a lot of different products.
What's the point of smoking CBD? Most people just want to get high. What's the point of smoking CBD?
Well, I don't even think it's not even used as something to smoke. It's in it comes in a lot of beauty products. Hell, I have a brow gel that has CBD in it.
What if it just enhances the other ingredients?
No, it's supposed to help with like pain relief and I've seen it sold as a pain reliever. I've seen it sold as like to help with anxiety. Like I had somebody say that I should give the dog a CBD.
We should.
Like a CBD oil or like some form of CBD in his food or something because he's a nervous wreck. So it helps. It supposedly helps with anxiety. Yeah, it has other things. I mean, I'm not a doctor. I don't know. I'm not an expert. I don't know. I just know that there's a difference between CBD and THC, and so that's why it depends on what you're talking about when you say is weed that bad? Because it's more than it just being.
Because it's illegal now. But yeah.
Wow. So you actually hear these conversations and like this is going. I was.
People have known since like elementary school.
Fucking oblivious when I was in high school. I had no idea who sold drugs. I didn't know because back in my day, it was illegal. So, I mean, obviously, hell, it's only been legal for like 3 months. So, I did not know who sold stuff. I had no clue. But I had kind of a similar experience to your vape pen story. We got out of school early, me and 3 friends that left school early, and one of them were like rolling up while we were walking, whatever. And I was like fascinated, like, wow, that's so cool. How did you? And you're walking. How is this possible? Like, that's cool. And so we get to one friend's house, and they're they had all done it before. I was the square in the group who didn't know. So
well, it gotta be a circle.
But in this instance, I actually did smoke, but I didn't even know how to smoke, so I wasn't doing it right. And so I was like, this is stupid. There's no effect, y'all done. Like, I legit felt like they were faking their high because I didn't know what the hell I was doing. And so I was like, it's not for me. I'm better than weed. It doesn't work on me.
You thought.
Right.
Guys, you got me. Where's the cameras?
Right. And one of the girls even called me out and was like, I don't think you're doing it right. And I'm sitting there, because I'm fake smarter than everybody else. What you mean not doing it right? Like, how can you not smoke right? I had all this attitude, like, in my head, like, I know what I'm doing. I'm doing it right. It just don't affect me. And fast forward.
It's your first time it's gonna affect you.
No, I was not, like, I didn't understand the whole inhaling process. So it's more than just breathing in and all I don't even think I was just like sucking air and just holding it in my mouth. It was just dumb.
Like swallowing it?
No, but it's more of like a for real, like inside.
Get in there.
Yeah, inside type of inhale, which I probably shouldn't be telling you so much detail, but if you're gonna do it, you're gonna do it anyway. So whatever. But yeah, and I didn't know that, and so I was like, how could you not inhale right? But I actually wasn't, and so I felt absolutely nothing, and most of it was just me laughing at them being incredibly like silly, and it was
I
just
want to witness
four
it.
girls just sitting there just giggling, and but me, I'm completely sober and just laughing at them being goofy. So that was my experience, and I think I was like 14, 15. Yeah. Oh, don't stop.
I'm stretching.
There lies the problem.
I didn't get my good morning stretch.
Oh, you gotta
On
stretch
the
for
bed.
Jesus, like Nanny
Yeah.
said.
Stretching for Jesus.
Okay. But okay, so anyways, other things. Like what's happening?
So, these juniors/seniors who think they're all big, tough, and grown up, they stand by their BMW and smoke cigarettes.
Ew, people still smoke cigarettes.
Oh,
I'm
they-
surprised there's kids that smoke cigarettes.
Then they stand by like my middle school. It's like they're right across the street. So they stand like by the gates as kids are going down like the hill part, and they're just like, like, there's children here. We don't want your secondhand smoke. And it's just annoying. Like, who showed you this and told you these are cool? Like, that's like one of the most people die from smoking. Like, if you're stuck, once you're stuck with it, you're stuck with it.
Yeah.
Because it's addicting, and then like, do they not hear that part? Like, people do they completely ignore that part? He can die from this long-term thing if you do this. Like, wait, because once you hear about cigarettes, like, it's gonna come with like the costs, like the consequences. Do they just ignore that part? And like,
They would have to, because I mean it's by law it's stated on the packaging, and it's
they're just like, okay, have a couple days.
information's all over the place. I remember when I was like little, I first heard that smoking would give you, they called it the black lung. And so I used to like flip out on family members that would smoke, and like, I don't want you to get the black lung. No, like, don't stop smoking. It's not good for you. Stop. And it's like, you don't take your 6-year-old ass away from me.
There's like videos on TikTok. And they're like, Dad, how many likes or follows do I have to get for you to quit smoking? And they're like, you have to get 1 million likes and 1 million followers for me to quit smoking. It's like, they only have like 50 followers. Where are they supposed to get 1 million? But some parents are reasonable. They're like 100,000 likes and like 1,000 or something followers, 1,000 something followers. I'm like, like once they post that video, it goes viral. Like, it blows up, as they call it, not viral.
Cool kids don't say viral anymore. It's viral different.
It's viral and blow up are different on TikTok. Blow up is just like, oh, you got this little spurts of this little boost of followers and likes. Okay, that's it. Viral is like you're famous forever. Like memes, the people in them, they're famous forever. People, they get recognized on the street and stuff like that. It's like, it's different.
Gotcha.
Like the Charlie Bit My Finger thing. That's, people still know that. The kids grown up, they getting doing cameos and videos.
Oh, and
This
like
stuff?
little backpack kid.
No. Oh, he's not. He went on a wrong path.
Okay, so outside of our smoking rant, what other things, like, I don't know, what other things do you feel pressured, or that's all the rave, that's not necessarily something great, but, or I mean, it could be something that is good, because peer pressure comes on both sides, good and bad.
It's not technically peer pressure, but I see like kids like remember we had a substitute for one of my classes, and she was like,
Do your teachers work at all? Like, do they come?
I don't know what she was doing that day. Anyway.
Okay, sorry.
I don't know what the teacher was doing that day. But, what was I saying? Okay, the substitute was like, who drives a car? Like, all these 14-year-olds were like, oh, I do.
Mm.
I was like, she's like, okay, but who has their own car? It's like, oh. It's like, then why are you driving? You're 14. You don't even have a license.
I drove when I was 14.
I know. That was back then. They didn't care.
They did care. I just got away with it because I was a good driver. I was a much better driver then. I was a much better driver then than I probably am now. LA made me aggressive as fuck. Just be screaming, get out the way, Grandma!
Don't be affected by the influence. Resist.
Peer pressure, man. Everybody else is like zipping and cutting over.
Oh yeah,
like driving fast and
because she's like, oh, I
right.
no stop sign.
Right.
She just sat there staring
ran
at
her
you.
stop sign.
She sat there staring at you.
Right,
like you had a stop sign. And she's like,
okay. Right. Right. She's
like,
still
no,
in front of me,
here.
so I like screamed and gained nothing, but it was like
you should have followed her. And like when she got out the car, like there was a stop. You just do it all over again.
Right. I act like daddy and just follow. I have nothing better to do than follow you.
He's done that?
Yes. Yes.
When?
He has followed people and like left notes, or he's come across the car that has done of the person that like did something fucked up to him before. He like left a note on the car.
It's like, remember 14 years ago when you
okay, well not that
almost hit me?
Not that level, but yes, he's done that. The peer pressure to just keep up in traffic out here. It's like all these people. What makes your destination more important than mine? I'm going fast too.
It's like, oh, you're in a rush. Me too.
Or those people that have to like slow down and completely they cause terrible traffic because they're trying to figure out what's going on the other side of the highway.
It's like if it's serious to find out on the news. It's not your
it does not affect this direction. It doesn't affect the people going this way at all. Why did you slow down and look at that? Mind your business.
Remember that one time you were like, why is everybody so slow? And this one lane, it was like, this truck had like stopped in the middle. Everybody was like going around. But like, why are you going slow? Just go around it. But then like that's like cut over into the
yeah.
But like,
I don't know. It's all.
Why can't people like you
it's
see that one car is stopped and people are trying to avoid it? Let us get over it. You know.
Yeah.
But people love to be the ones that put it on the road. It's like I have a meeting that I'm late to. Get out of my way. Well, I'm giving birth. Get out of my way. Well, I have to go to a funeral. Get out of my way. Like
everybody's life is more important than everybody else's.
Little did you know, that meeting was to ask if she or he could get a promotion because her family is not financially stable.
I don't know what's happening right now.
And what if the funeral was for their dog that they've had for 36 years?
A dog for 36 years.
Old people love their dogs.
But 36 years?
Hey, more of a reason to go to the funeral. It's like, dang, you lived for 36 years. You a tough dog.
Stop.
It's like,
I don't like
her
it.
dog
I don't like it.
of 36 years, and she had to go. No, gotta listen. And then what else did I say? What else did I say? I said a meeting.
So moving on.
A funeral. What else did I say?
I'm not telling you. I remember, and I'm not telling you. I'm not telling you.
Oh, Bert, shit! That's my wife of 34 years, and she's finally had a child, and I got.
They've been married for 34 years, and now they're having a kid.
Octuplets. I gotta go. No. How do you say 12? Dectuplets.
Wouldn't that be 10? I thought Deck was 10. It's not important.
Yes, it is.
This whole
Dectuplets.
what you're doing is ridiculous. And
sex templates. That's a lot of age.
That's
no. Okay.
This is what I deal with, folks.
I had to cover all
This
of
is what I deal with.
possible situations. You
This
don't know
is the
what
real
people are.
reason why we're doing a podcast, because someone else needs to deal with this. I'm tired of being alone. I'm tired dealing with this all by myself. Okay, so I feel like,
You feel like.
ooh, so makeup, which I mean, I feel like it's more of a thing now for.
Because there's different techniques to make you look better than you did before.
Which I felt pressure to wear makeup, not even from people at school. It was my sister was like the very prissy one and very girly, and I wanted to be this girly person, but not overly so.
Oh, that's me.
So I was like, I loved skirts and dresses and stuff. That's not you. But I also was very comfortable hanging with guys and the kind of being one of the guys and being involved in sports and that stuff. So, but the pressure, to me, my sister, the way she carried herself was the way I felt like I was supposed to be. I was supposed to be like this girly person that was like into, I couldn't figure out how to work a fucking curling iron to save my life, but my sister could do all that stuff. So I felt pressure to just be kind of this super girly person, and I could never pull it off. So I abandoned it very quick and just settled into my own level of girliness. But I did try.
I stretch, but you told me not to.
I did try. So do you feel, do you feel that in any way? Because when
I don't feel pressure, I just feel like it's like, oh, I feel like it'd be nice to try this, but I don't feel like trying it, so I just don't.
It's not worth you putting in the time to do it.
Yeah, because I see all these like really cool like looks, but that's just basically like painting on your face.
It's
like just
It's the artistry of it.
Just paint.
No, it's the artistry of it. Don't down it because you're not willing to put in the work to do it. I think it's really cool, and it's actually something I would have never gotten away with because my mom was very like strict about, you're not old enough for this, you're not old enough for this, you're not old enough. It was always something.
But you're like, let me put it on you.
Right. Which I only do it at home when I'm just playing around. I put looks on you I wouldn't even wear. Or couldn't. Sometimes it's easier to paint your face up than it is to like try something on my face, because it's like, yo, I need both eyes to see what I'm doing to this guy. So I was like, hey Mo, come here, babes.
Yeah, I've seen like people redo Bob Ross paintings on their face, like the mountains.
It's neat.
Yeah,
I think it's cool.
I think it's cool because like they can put so much detail into it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, but you just
I feel like one day I do like just the eyebrow stuff, but nothing extra because that's too much work. It was like, oh, this looks off because it's not your color, and then blah 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 blah. Oh no, you look orange. Oh no, you look.
Yeah, it is hard. I had a conversation with
just clear your skin. So
some
it looks
colleagues
like you have makeup on.
About how hard it is to find, how hard it was and kind of still is to find my shade. I feel like every time I buy foundation, I'm getting a different shade.
You should talk to Rihanna.
I should
DM her on Twitter or Instagram. Like, yo, I need one that looks exactly like my skin tone because I'm tired of mixing stuff. Please, thank you.
Yeah, I
Need some more in between.
I've mixed foundation for a very long time, and I'm like, yo, I'm tired of these too much monies.
I gotta buy this one and this one every month.
Okay, not every month.
Every 2 months. Then just pour it in one bottle.
Just
and
pour.
just shake it. stir them around.
You think that'll work?
I mean, that's how you do other things. That's how you bake.
I have 2 full bottles and I'm supposed to pour
Oh!
them. Okay. Took her a minute. She got it.
Again, the little, like the travel squeezy things.
Mm-hmm.
But like a pretty,
Mm-hmm.
the biggest travel size you can get.
The biggest travel size you could get, and they all pretty much come in the same size. I don't think. Do you know what travel size?
Let me finish. let me finish.
Do you know?
Let me finish.
But I'm already.
Then you put in. No, you got one ear. You can still hear me. And then you put in the squeezer tube, and then just drink it.
You worked that hard to finish that, girl. Okay, so this was good. I looked up some stuff on.
You're always on your phone. That's why you keep getting sick. Who am I? Who am I? Who am I? A parent?
No
Who
idea.
am I? Who am I?
No idea who you are. That's crazy.
What is that? Oh, sorry.
I looked up an article.
She looked up an article, folks.
Don't do that. Called Dealing with Peer Pressure from a publication called High School Illustrated. Didn't know that was a thing. Move your stupid face.
I can't see.
You don't need to see. I'm going to read it. So, yeah.
Guys, I'm blind.
She is. We get the glare from your glasses. So,
So I have to.
yeah, so we talked a lot about the negative side of peer pressure.
Positive side.
But there is a positive side, like something. I mean, you were there when your bestie wanted to join Color Guard. You encouraged that. That's a positive side of peer pressure. Like, yo, I want to be there on the first day of school. You're like, Mom, got to get there at this time. She's performing. I want to be there to support her. We went. We supported her. Yeah, we took pictures and recorded stuff like we were there. Oh, that was orientation. I thought that was school. I remembered it wrong, but yes, we were there. It doesn't matter. Yeah, we were there. So there's a positive side to it. You know, basically, gross. Stop. You freak of human nature.
Hey, you burped me. You mother freak.
Mother freak. Yeah, do it one more time. One time for the one time. Okay. Have to run it back real quick. So, in peer pressure, I mean, even with gaining new friends, that's a positive side. Granted, if they are good friends, that's a positive side of peer pressure because it's like somebody new that you're encouraged, whether by that person or by a mutual friend, to hang with this person. So, and you find acceptance in that, you know, so that's good. Those relationships are great. The ones in, even if they don't last, because we're going to lose our friend. I'm not asking about what just happened. We're about to lose our bestie because she's moving to Texas, and we're like super sad, but it's okay. Even in that, it's good practice. Don't make people look up your nose. It's it's good practice for friendships you'll have later, and you know, no telling, you guys could still, you know, a long distance friendship. Nowadays, that's totally possible with the interwebs. I don't know because it's Skype, but you have Google Hangouts, and you guys use Google Hangouts now.
We use Google Duo.
Okay, Google, you can still use that. Google Duo now, and you live, in the same city. So there's that. Like I said, positive examples, having peers who are committed to doing well, and they support you doing well. You seeing them do it makes you want to do it. And so that's another positive side to peer pressure. So when people think peer pressure, they always think all the bad stuff. Somebody's trying to force my baby to smoke. Somebody's trying to force my baby to have sex. Somebody's trying to force my baby to do drugs.
Or they just
Somebody's forcing my baby to... Nobody ever thinks that their baby is the one forcing somebody else to do all this bad shit. It's always somebody.
Like, they just want to do their own choice. But they don't want to think that.
No, nobody. Parents don't want to think that.
Like, no,
their kid is.
She didn't want to do
their
that.
kid is always the sweet, innocent one in it. So it's always somebody's trying to force my baby to do all these bad things, and nobody's thinking like your kid just curious about it, and they're gonna try it. They're gonna try it whether or not a friend.
It's like those
encouraged it.
Movies with babysitters. It's like, no, my baby would never break the TV. It's playing soccer in the house. it's literally archery. Like, he has a bow and arrow in his hand.
I'm telling you, nobody wants to think the worst of their own kid. And also from this, like pretty much what we just said, the feedback. You get feedback and advice from your friends when it's something you want to do. You have somebody to talk it over with. BMOs, stop it with the clickies. Have a dog and he's back there tap dancing around, his stupid little nails tapping on the floor. I lost my spot. Okay, yeah, you get feedback and advice. So when you are interested in something, they can be like, yeah, I support that. You should do it. You know, walk your truth, sis. And if it's something messed up and your friend's like, that don't sound like a good idea, you're not thinking this through, or however kids talk, I don't know. Yeah, but that's something good that comes out of it. You also get, through Bestie joining Color Guard, you have met her Color Guard team and have made some new relationships.
It changed because the middle school team is different than the high school.
But still, you still have met people through her. So that's another form of peer pressure, because it's like, hey, I want to hang with her.
I didn't like that.
But you met them. You had to meet them to figure out, hey, you know what? They're no type of people. But you didn't stop her or attempt to stop her from hanging with them. You were just like, yo, those are people. I'm not with those people. So, you know, continue to do you, but we still friends. That's cool. What else? That's the socializing. Okay, encouragement. Peers encourage you to work hard. I think we just talked about that, so I won't repeat that. But they just encourage you to reach your goals. Something you want to do, freaking do it. You want to join the photography club, freaking do it. You want to rob this bank, don't think it's a good idea, but if you're gonna do it, let's do it right.
You do you, boo.
Right. Yeah. So, and open you up to new experiences. And your friend joining Color Guard, I'm sure you considered, even if it was just for a second, would I, like that was something you considered that you probably didn't consider before. Like you just open you up, or you and your music, how you're always trying to get your friends to like listen to Smino. Listen to this. Stop listening to Top 40 and listen to this Smino. What'd you say?
Her playlist is hideous.
So, and just some tips. Her playlist is disgusting. You just go sit here and mumble.
It's hideous.
It's hideous.
Oh yeah, it's disgusting.
So it offers some tips on what to do when you are feeling pressure to do something you don't want to do. So most peer pressure is less easy to define. Sometimes a group can make subtle signals without saying anything at all, letting you know that you must dress or talk a certain way or adopt particular attitudes towards school, other students, parents, and teachers in order to win acceptance and approval. So like if a friend's angry with someone you don't like, so you're like, I'm not gonna like them either. That's another form of peer pressure. But in the example we just had with you not liking besties, color guard friends, you're not putting pressure on her to dislike them. You just removing yourself when they're around. Which, I mean, hell, when they're around, it's practice, so you shouldn't be there anyway.
The little coach lady in middle school, she let me just sit there until I had to leave. Yeah.
Okay, nice. Where is it? So, some tips. Listen to your gut.
I'm hungry.
Same. Listen to your guts. If you don't feel right in the situation, then it's okay to acknowledge it's not right for you. But I feel like you speak up for yourself very well. But you know, just it's okay. It's okay to be the oddball or just not do what everybody else is doing. Not necessarily stopping them or trying to boss them around and what their decision is, but just standing true to who you are, what you want to do, and plan for possible situations. This reminded me of how back in my day we had the DARE program, and we had all these different assemblies about being bullied and just all this stuff, and they would make you do role play, and it just seemed super pointless. Like, why am I doing this? Why does this make sense? But if you get comfortable like saying no to something like that in this situation, you know, that we're acting out, then yeah, you will be more comfortable saying no and think of a way to ease out of an uncomfortable situation. So plan for a possible pressure situation. Think about ahead of time what you'll say or do if somebody's trying to get you to do something, like, and really on you to do something you don't want to do. In 13 Reasons Why, she, you know, was at the party, and you could tell she wasn't the type of kid to drink, but everybody else had a drink, so she grabbed one too. But the main character, the girl, Hannah. And so everybody else had a drink, so she grabbed one too, and she looked uncomfortable holding this cup and drinking this, but everybody else was doing it, and she didn't feel comfortable enough in her own skin to just, I'm just gonna grab a bottle of water, you know? So arrange a bailout code with your parents. So if you do put yourself in a messed up situation, to let your parents know how serious it is that you're removed from it, you have a keyword. Like, I had one with Nanny. It was Rosebud. And so she was like, something's going on, you're somewhere you don't want to be, something's happening. Call me and pretty much like work the word Rosebud into the conversation and let me know and just tell me, where you are, and I will be there. So having that, and it's funny to me that it's even still relevant with phones and all this stuff. And it's like you could just shoot a quick text, but it's on one hand, it's like, what if that text it can only be dropping a pin and that safe word, so somebody knows immediately, like, I need to get to my kid, So maybe we need to talk about that.
But uncomfortable, do you mean just like not wanting to be there, or like
something's
just
wrong?
The atmosphere.
It's dangerous. Like, how, one of my fave podcasts, My Favorite Murder, they say like, if you feel uncomfortable, like, get yourself out, like, trust yourself. If anything about the situation, like, this does not feel right. Nanny actually had a story where she was invited to kind of a house party, and she gets there, and it's this girl that invited her and these three guys, and she's like, it did not feel right. So she's like, and then the music was turned up, and she's like, and it was, just a lot of Nanny wouldn't say it at the time, but I'm sure there was like drugs and alcohol around. Like there was other things, other elements to this that also added to her being uncomfortable. And so she like assessed the situation and she jumped out the window. And they chased her
So they were obviously gonna do something.
like something. She was like something was not right, and I'm sure there's a lot more to it, but just the fact that she trusted herself, like it's okay. Another of my fave podcasts, Crime Junkie. They're like, it's okay to look weird. It's okay to be strange. If you're saving your life, go for it. You know. So, yeah. And
he's a superhero.
What'd you say?
Yeah, he's a superhero.
I don't know about that. And I mean, something else that will help is hanging with people who feel the same way you do about situations. I'm sure you talk about stuff. So if you're already hanging with somebody that's like-minded, then you're less likely to be put in a messed up situation. And speak up. See something, say something.
Stomach has something to say.
My stomach said, I see that I'm hungry, so I'm saying something about it. Yeah. So that was great. Yes. So do you feel like you can handle it next time little baby girl's all up in your face? Take this. Try it. It's really good. You'll like it.
I'm like sort of rude, so I'll just be like, no.
You are. You are. I remember one time I was taking you and your friends somewhere, and one of them like said something about not liking Brussels sprouts, and you like flipped out. I was like, is she going off on her about Brussels sprouts?
They're so good.
My mom makes the best Brussels sprouts. I don't know what you're talking about, and they're so good. Brussels sprouts are good. You just didn't have them the right way. Try my mom. Like it was like, yo. It's just
Because you really
Brussels
did
sprouts.
find some ranky-danky Brussels sprouts from some cheap restaurant.
You went in about Brussels sprouts.
Brussels sprouts are great. I don't know what you guys are talking about. This movie's like, she's a kid. She doesn't like green stuff. No, broccoli's great. With cheese.
With cheese, which kind of ruins the whole nutritional value.
Broccoli, Brussels sprouts, asparagus, all it's great. Love salads.
All the green stuff.
I mean, not all.
So,
Peas
so yes, that is our show for peer pressure. Hit us up in the comments on
any stories about what you're talking about.
I mean, because adults still deal with it. And if you're a kid, then tell us some ways, some stories you've dealt with, some situations you've dealt with, some ways you've overcome it. Or email us at howwaschoolpodcast@gmail.com. And we want to hear from you. And yay.
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 Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Thanks.